cooking recipe and your picture of your chow mein is made. Okay. And so yeah, that just makes it. Right, so again, you're going to prepare your chopping board. Okay, so you've got a non-slip mat, so you can prepare the chopping board.
So can you see?
No, you guys sit on that side there instead of something. So you two sit on there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're using a high-risk food. Alright, so we're using a high-risk food like chicken. You have to check its quality, and you have to use the right. So look at the chicken. What's the things that you're looking for with chicken? Bones. Bones? Yeah, well, you are using the boneless breast, but what else are you looking for to see about its quality? The fat content, yep. You always check the fat content. In meat, the fat is the first thing that goes with it. Okay, guys? So, in this case, you can't see much of the fat. You can see the skin. Now, skin on a chicken, a fresh skin, should be a bluish colour, white. It shouldn't be yellow, and it certainly shouldn't be grey. This is starting to yellow. So what happens with after a few days of this, it'll eventually end up going, they'll end up selling it skinless. They'll take the skin off so you can't see how old it is, and you'll end up buying skinless chicken. All right, so it's best off to buy it with the skin on because you can see how old it is. So first of all, you're going to use your sight. You're going to also look for expiry date. Make sure that it's packaged on the correct date and its expiry is correct. You're also going to look and make sure your packaging is not damaged. Okay, there might be a little hole in it, so you always make sure you never buy cheap, reduced, broken packaging of food because it's been contaminated. This one here had the packaging complete. It was complete. Its expiry date is fine. Its skin is an okay colour, and it's got the skin on. The other thing I'm checking with this is its smell when you open it. Now this one does have a slight tinge of a smell. It's not offensive, but it is a slight smell. So therefore, after a few days, it won't be very good. So if we're using chicken on Monday, we won't be putting this in the fridge. We'll freeze it. Bacteria in a fridge. What does bacteria do in the fridge?
Freeze the kills the bacteria.
In the fridge.
Oh, fridge.
Oh, fridge isn't bacteria.
You said freeze too.
You need to take the jacket off. Guys, what happens to you in the cold? Do you go? Yeah, they go numb. So what happens to bacteria in the cold is it just sits dormant. It doesn't die. It goes really slow. So it grows extremely slow. Now, in a freezer, it goes to sleep. Again, bacteria doesn't die in a freezer. So therefore, if you put rotten food into a freezer and then bring it out, the minute it starts to defrost, it then starts to grow bacteria, which is why you defrost it in the fridge. Okay, so I'm cutting these into little bite-sized pieces, small pieces of chicken for your chow mein. All right, so you're going to cut it into a strip, and then you're going to cut it into pieces. Why do you need to have them nice, even pieces? What? To eat? Yeah, it's nicer to eat them nice and even. Why else? Guys?
They gave me this.
Yep. So, if you have a large piece of chicken and a small piece of chicken, guys, if you have a large piece of chicken and a small piece of chicken, they cook at different times, so you need to have them of even size. Otherwise, you'll have some that overcooks and some undercooks. Okay, and chicken has to be cooked at the same temperature. Okay, now when you're finished cooking, you guys need to demonstrate how to wash a knife. And the way to wash a knife is you're going to put dishwash liquid on it. No, you don't put knife in dishwasher. Guys, and then you're going to dry the knife. Now I'm going to actually ask someone to leave. So you're going to dry the knife. You're going to hold the handle and you slide it along the back of the knife so you don't cut yourself. Okay, you don't turn it that way. You hold it that way away from yourself, and then you dry your handle. And that's your knife that's clean. The chopping board, you need to do exactly the same. You need to scrub it down between use. Okay, and then you can turn it over and you can turn it over and use the other side. Okay, so I've prepared my chicken. I've got my chopping. It's really hard, guys. I've got my chopping board all ready to go. And now we're going to put the rest of the ingredients in there. So we're going to marinate it. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. 2 teaspoons. So 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Because it's just a marinade, it doesn't have to be exact. So you don't have to be too worried about it. And the ginger. Now we've got 2 lots of ginger. We've either got fresh ginger, ground up ginger, or fresh ginger. Ginger's a root. That's actually a terrible quality of ginger, so therefore I'm not going to use it. It's actually changing colour and it's shriveling, so I'm going to use this. But this is what you're going to use yourselves normally, hopefully a root ginger on Monday. All right. I'm going to use a teaspoon. And it says just 1/4 teaspoon because it's really strong of ginger. And then that's going to be mixed together with your corn flour. And then set aside 2 teaspoons. Okay. The corn flour is to thicken it up when it's cooking. And you're going to give that a mix. And where are you going to sit it, you guys? You guys got a fridge in next door, so you're going to sit it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. I haven't got a fridge, so I'm just going to put it over there. All right, but you guys have a fridge. Just pretending. Okay, and then you're going to wash your hands again because you've just chopped raw chicken. And I'm putting this right because we don't do this. Okay, so now we're going to move into the vegetables. You're going to be chopping and displaying each of the vegetables, okay? So you're going to have, for example, this is a capsicum. Okay, it's half a capsicum. You need to be able to identify quality indicators. It's all wrinkled on the skin, so it's actually not very good quality. and it's fairly soft. It's hard to tell because it's been cut. You can tell it's fairly soft, but the seeds aren't brown, so they're quite nice. It's not too bad. So what you do is you just pull your seeds out and put them into your scrap bin. Shake out your seeds. And then you're going to be having it flat. You're going to trim off the little white bits. Okay, just a little bit. And then you're going to cut these into strips. Okay? Now they're fairly thick strips, and you cut on the uncooked, not the other side. You don't cut on the skin side. Then you're going to put that onto a clean chopping board for a display to be able to take a photo of when we're finished there. Then you're going to do your onion, and your onion says to dice it. Well, it's going to be hard to dice because I've got scraps. Okay, so what you do is you take the skin off, you put it into your scrap bin. I'll put my two pieces together. Okay, now for an onion, you'll cut it through the middle, not like they've done it. Yeah. Okay, and then you're going to cut it this way with your fingers holding it together. And then you're going to cut it very thinly this way, and that'll give it a nice small dice. Yes, they are, because you need to do vegetable cuts. Everything you make in this class is compulsory because it goes towards standards. It's not about you having a feed. I don't care if you don't like to eat it. It's about you learning how to prepare vegetables. Okay, now, guys, so the next thing, so you've got your dices, you've got your strips, and you're going to be doing your florets with your pieces of broccoli. Broccoli should be, put your phone away, please.
Oh, sorry.
Broccoli should be bright green all over. It's got a couple of bits of yellow, and it should be crunchy, and it shouldn't be wilted. That's why, again, you should have the leaves on it so you can check its quality, okay? And again, yes, you have to have broccoli. And I don't want to see you cutting it into tiny, tiny pieces. I want to see them fairly large size pieces so they don't overcook. Okay, that's your broccoli prepared. Okay, now we're going to prepare the cabbage. Okay, now the cabbage needs to be a chiffonade cut. That's a very thin cut like you would for doing coleslaw. I prefer to use my chef's knife. Can you separate? Separate or leave. I don't care.
No, you shut up.
Okay, so now I'm going to cut these really thin, and it's cutting it. If you have big leaves, you need to roll them up and slice them too. So a lot of people get this wrong. They get it too chunky. I don't want you to chop it again that way. I don't want it diced. I just want it done in a chiffonade cut, which is like coleslaw. Okay, so you're going to be doing that. Quality cabbage should be bright green, should be firm heart. You shouldn't buy it in pieces. Carrot, a quality carrot should be straight. It should have a light skin on it. You're going to peel the carrot. If you have new carrots, you won't have to peel them, but these ones don't. So you're going to take the skin off the carrot. The potato peeler. Now you're going to cut these into julienne strips. Okay, you'll learn more about the strips later. So you're going to chop the ends off. You're going to chop it in half. And then you're going to chop a very small piece off to make it sit flat. So what you do is you have a flat piece to stop it rolling around. You put the flat piece down, you put your knife down, and you just follow it through little thin strips. You have your fingers up so you're not going to chop your fingers off. And then you're going to cut it again this way. So they should end up with little matchsticks. Okay, you're going to do that with the other piece. Again, you cut one small piece off to make it flat. And then you cut it into thin strips. Okay, so you should now have your vegetables cut up. I've got one more, is a celery. You're going to put that on there. And the last one is celery. Now your celery, the celery you just chop any way you like. Yes, you have to have celery in it. If you don't like it, chop it into bigger pieces so you can remove it when you're going to eat it. You need it to prepare it with it. Okay? So there goes your celery. Now you're going to then take a photo of this with your name on it, just your name. Although you're doing it in a group, you're going to put your name and take a photo. Then you're going to put their name on it and take a photo, because this is your evidence of your vegetable cuts, preparing each of your vegetables. Okay, and then when we're on the computer, you'll then be able to identify what each vegetable is. Okay, you're now going to get to the stage where you can start cooking this. Now, to cook your noodles, you need to have hot water. And you don't, guys, you know, I was going to share this with you when we're finished. You were going to eat it, but you're not, okay? Because all of yous are being really rude. Okay, so to cook it, you must heat your, oh, hang on. he handed his in. Mr. Frey, he said he did his. So we should have had 8. 9. So now you have to give the results to Mr. Younger. They have to give it to Mr. Younger. Okay, so you're going to heat your oil. You're going to heat your oil in the pan. The reason you don't add chicken or any other product to a cold pan is because it absorbs the oil, whereas if you've got the hot, it won't absorb it, okay? So you'll brown it up nice. So once it's heated, you're then going to add your chicken and you're going to cook it until it's just cooked, and then you're going to remove it. The reason you don't cook it all together is because it'll just end up overcooking it. So you can tell it's hot. Pardon? How do you know when it's cooked? Sorry, what was the question? Hey boys, I've got a question being asked and I can't hear it because you're being rude. Sorry, you're going to have to speak up. That one will be cooked when it changes colour. It goes white on the inside and you feel the texture of the chicken. Okay, so the chicken, I'll give you a raw piece out and you'll feel it, and then I'll give you a cooked piece and you can feel the difference. Alright? Hey guys, just say 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the water has to be boiling before you add your noodles to it. You're going to get 1 packet of noodles per person. And you put them into your water. Say we get from the cover. Say the field. So feel that. Feel. You touch. Soft. Feel that. Hard. Feel that. Soft. Raw. Feel that. Hard. Don't push it that hard. Feel that. Soft. And that one there. Hard. See the difference in the walk?
What's the key? I want to feel it.
You need to know the difference between the two.
Yeah, you can tell him.
Hey guys, listening 1, 2, 3. I can't even open this. Okay, so, excuse me. Now, when you're cooking the rest of your ingredients, if you burn your onion or burn your garlic, it turns really bitter. If you cook them gently, they'll be nice and soft and they'll have a nice flavour, okay? So you've got to be very, very careful. So you're going to put a little bit of ginger in there, a bit of garlic. And the first thing you're going to cook, out of these two ingredients, what would they be? Probably the first two. Yeah, onions. What else? Celery. And broccoli. Why do you cook those three first? Guys, why would you cook those first? No, they're not 2-minute noodles. I need to have that eventually set up somewhere. Okay. No, you start to pack. But if we have it like
Okay. They cannot see.
Carry on. Okay. So guys, listen, 1, 2, going to add the carrots now because they're the next longest thing to cook. And the last thing you'll add would be your cabbage and your capsicum. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Guys, 1, 2, 3. Can you listen? You put your phone away now. Okay, so you get it to the point where your onions are just starting to go a little bit golden, and your broccoli is starting to cook. Then you're going to add your stock. Okay, that's your chicken stock. Then you're going to cook that for a few more minutes. Okay, so on Monday, when you guys you're not going to cook anymore. I tell you, this will be the last demonstration you get. I'll cook with these 4. You don't want credits. I'm fine with that. It doesn't reflect on me. Okay? You be rude and continue what you're doing. I asked you nicely to shut up and listen. All right? And I said you were being videoed. You still don't care. So I think every single one of you guys deserve a text home to your parents to say how rude and disrespectful you are. If you don't want that to happen, put your heads up, watch what I'm doing, and actually engage with it, because it's wrong. All right? I did this last week with you. I demonstrated you for fun. This week you're being rude. So I've turned this up a little bit so it can boil a little bit. You don't want to cook these all the way through until they're soft. A good chow mein has bright, crisp, coloured vegetables, okay? When broccoli is cooked, it starts, the more you cook it, the more it loses its nice bright colour. So it gets to this point, you're then going to add your chicken back in there, okay? And you're going to cook that for a few seconds, and then you're going to mix through your cabbage. This is really nearly done. You can clean up as you go. Now, you guys had a problem with dishing up your dishes last week. You sort of put too much on your portions. You need to just do a portion size. I know our recipes actually have more in them than what you need, but that doesn't matter. You just dish up enough for 2 single portions in your group. This will cook down in a few minutes.
Is the heat level you use this?
Here
It's a medium,
yeah.
medium high, right?
You don't need it really hot. If you have a wok, you can do it in the wok.
Okay.
When you're cooking in a wok, guys, a wok, if you're wanting to use a wok, what you do is you gauge the temperature by where you put your food. Down the bottom is where it's hottest. And if you don't want it to be hot, you just move it up the sides of your wok. And that's how you regulate temperature. You see them in the fish and chip shops and stuff. They don't turn their dials up and down very often. They just regulate it within their wok. So they move a cooked item up the wok, and then they cook the other food down the bottom of their wok. and that's angle 45. Okay, so you can get it up to the stage. Most of my liquid has been absorbed. There's only a little bit of liquid in the bottom. My vegetables are still really crisp. I know my chicken is cooked because I cooked it first, and my cabbage hasn't gone soggy. And then you're going to add your noodles. I actually did 2 lots of noodles because I was going to feed you guys, but I'll just do 1. No, I told you they weren't. I told you that they were egg noodles. Okay, so you're just going to mix your noodles through. Okay, so then you can season it if you need to with a bit of soy sauce. And that's it ready. Okay, so to dish it up, hey guys, just do 1, 2, 3. Okay, some of you guys had problems dishing up last week, mostly because you're trying to fit all of your ingredients into the one plate. You have to dish up 2 equal portions and get a photo per person. For example, so you take some of the noodles up and you dish them up. Now I don't want to see, guys, I don't want to see dirty plates. I don't want to see great big portions. And I don't want to see you eating them as you go. You're dishing up 2 equal portions. You're dishing up 2 equal portions. You're putting your name in the middle and then you take a photo. Okay, so that's what you need to be doing on Monday. Are there any questions? The cards. You can't really, I've written them on there. And so I can come around and show you one as you go forward. Okay? Are there any other questions? So they're going to do this paperwork down, the booklets. So that's it.
Thank you.
Done. I can clean up, I do my dishes, and I do
That's all, guys. And you can, and you can view it again, like you have repeated viewing on YouTube. Okay, Shingo-san will upload this clip onto YouTube. Okay, yeah. And I would like you to say thank you to Miss O'Neill. Say thank you.
O'Neill. Hi.
Okay, say hi. Yeah, free. Yes.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
This is show. Hi. Your classmates. Okay. Hope you enjoy it and see you on Monday in class. Okay. For the cooking. I will hang up now. Bye.
And we have to come back at 9:30.